So what we're going to do, we're going to find a picture of a Rubik's Cube and a animal, and we're going to put them together and make this funky looking little thing. But really what we're going to learn is how to do, how to copy and paste image URLs to put them into photo editor to work with and change. Let's start with Rubik's Cube. R-U-B-I-K-S space C-U-B-E. And I'll type in JPEG at the end of it. JPG. Rubik's Cube. And go to Images. That first one is licensable. I should usually normally go to Tools, Usage Rights, Creative Commons License, but that first one is the one we're going to use. So I'm going to click on it, right click to get copy image address, and come back over here, go to layer, add URL as layer. So I'll show you how to do that again. When you're on this page, you click on the picture and it pulls it up with this nice black window. You have to get the options to do something with this, so you can either, with your computers from school, you use two fingers and tap down on your mouse pad at the same time, or if you're using a different type of computer, you might have to right click. That means that there's the two clicking buttons on your computer pad, mouse pad. I click on the right one and I get this option, and on these options, this right down here is copy image address. You want to do that. Come over here and go to layer, add URL as layer, Control V to paste it in, and there I have it. Now it's too big, so I'm going to zoom. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to shrink down my picture to fit inside the workspace. That way I can see a little bit of my workspace all the way around it, and I see the whole thing there. Okay, now we need a picture of, go to new tab. We did one in class and it was really cute and kind of cool. It was with a little Chihuahua dog. So we're going to do a Chihuahua, C-H-I-H-U-A-H-U-A space JPG. Alright, so I think what we used with this one, we click on Images, and there's all these cute little Chihuahuas, and we can just use this little guy right here. First, let's make sure it's got the right usage rights, so we click over here and click on Creative Commons Licenses, and that one doesn't show up again, so we're going to use a different one. This one says it's licensable, so we can use that one, and I'll put the link in the classroom. Alright, so this is great too because it's got a solid background, and with the magic wand tool I can delete that easily. Now remember how to, you gotta, oops, you click on the image with your right click button, you copy image address. Now if you accidentally click on the image, it pulls it up, and what you can do from there, you don't take this right here, you don't take that URL, you click on it again, and it pulls up in its own window. That's for Wikimedia. Wikimedia does this really well, and they're all licensable, so you can use them all for free. I'm going to double click, triple click on the URL, copy it. Of course you could have just done it this way where you right click, copy image address. It's the same thing. You come back over here, go to layer, add URL as layer, and then you can Control V, press Control and the letter V at the same time, or you can come right over here and get this window up and click paste, and you put your picture in there. Now this next part is pretty easy. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger so I can edit it better, and what I need to do is get rid of that black background and cut it down to just his head. So I'm going to start with the wand tool, and if I select, it selects pretty well, but I'm going to select it just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click Control D, I'm going to change my tolerance up just a little bit. I'm going to go to like 32 to 40. Try that again. That should be a little bit better. So I've got that there, and I click delete and it gets rid of the background. That's just the backspace button on my computer. I clicked that and it got rid of it. Now what I can do is I'm going to click Control D, deselect everything, and now I'm going to hand erase. So that means I'm going to come over here to my eraser tool, click on that, and I'm going to start by erasing like right. I think I'm going to leave just a little bit of his neck, like that, and then keep erasing. So once I separate the two, I'm pretty good. I can make my brush size bigger for my eraser. That way I can erase a lot faster. Get rid of any remaining pixels that are over here. Move his feet. There we go. So now I've got just the puppy head. And from here, this is kind of fun. All right, so now I'm gonna go to my arrange tool. And let's see. I want to get it to where it's just the puppy head. So to do that, I may have to do this. I may have to, let's see what else is still there. I'm going to go back to wand tool, select, and I'm going to invert the selection. So that means what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to select and invert selection. And now with this is an extra little tool. You're going to click Control X on your keyboard, Control and X at the same time, and it cuts it and it goes away. So then I click Control V and he's back. So got an extra little layer over there. You can delete it if you want to. The one that says Chihuahua, because his actual picture is up here. So I'm going to delete this little one. So now I've just got my Chihuahua picture. Cool. Now I can go to my arrange tool and click over here. I can move this guy around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate him. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 white squares for my corners and 1 white circle up at the top. If I turn that, I'm going to make it look like his little head is coming out of this Rubik's Cube. So I'm going to shrink him down to about that size. I'm going to just put a few of him around here. So we're going to do this once and then change it. So now I've tilted his head, and what I'm going to do now is we're going to change the color. So I'm going to go to Adjustment, we're going to Hue and Saturation. And with Hue and Saturation, now I can change the hue here. I want to get it to be red, but it's not saturated enough, so I'm going to raise my saturation up really high, and then move this hue around to find the red colors. So there we go. Just slightly over until it's reddish. If I go too far, it's going to turn purple and then blue. So I want it to just be kind of red like that, and I apply. Whoops. That looks weird. Let's try that again. Click off of it, try clicking some other things, then come back to it. Change my hue and the saturation, raise it up high. There he is. Okay, apply that. Oh, and that made it really small. That's okay, I can make it big again. Alright, so I've got him coming out of there, but that's not enough. I'm not done with it yet. I need to erase just a little bit of his neck to make it look like he's really morphing out of that little square. Let me make him a little bit bigger. So check this out. Now I can come to my eraser tool. And with my eraser tool, I don't just erase. I actually have to come and make the size small again, about 50. You can always just type it in here. 50. And then I'm going to change the opacity. If I just erase, it just erases it straight and it's gone. But I want to lower the opacity. That means it's going to be kind of see-through. So I'm going to put the opacity kind of on 30%. Around there. Okay, and then I'm going to zoom in. You can see when I erase just a little bit now. it leaves a little bit so you can kind of see it so it more slowly instead of going like this really abrupt, quick change. That's better. So now he's coming out of there, and then I can put his head on the other sides too. To do that, I'm going to take the layer, click on the 3 dots, duplicate the layer by clicking this button, duplicate, and now I have another one. But to move it, I have to come over here to my arrange tool. I can move him. Let's turn this one into a green one. So I'm going to put him right there. And I'm going to rotate him around. But he's the wrong color. So what do? I go to Adjustment, Hue and Saturation. Move it so I can see him. Keep him saturated. This time I don't really have to change the saturation, I guess. But I do need to change the hue to green. And I apply. Voila. Then I can duplicate him again. So I click here. On the line, the 3 dots, click duplicate. Let's do, I can do the yellow one now. Let's try that out. Put him up here on the yellow one, so I'll straighten him up. Zoom out enough to see him. And then Adjustment, Hue and Saturation. So I've got red, green, and now a yellow one, so I need to go the other way. There we go. Ooh, that's kind of hard to find. Right about there. I can go raise the saturation up on that one. And apply. Voila. And you can just keep doing this. I'm going to come back to my red one and duplicate it. I can try putting it on. Ooh, let's do the blue one right here. Let's try that out. Let's do the blue right there. Adjustment, Hue and Saturation. Change the hue to the blue. Voila. You can raise your saturation if it helps. That blue is a little darker though, so I'm actually going to change the lightness on this one. Lower it a little bit. And there we go. Alright, so with this one you guys can do that to all of them. I think what I'll do is I'll speed it up and show you what that would look like. You don't have to do many more than just this though. And I'm going to do a few more just so you can see sped up. When you're done, turn it in. Save it as a JPEG. Don't forget to crop it. I'll show you how to crop it at the end. Okay, so that's probably enough. That's fun. Now, just one last step is cropping it. That's going to be this button right over here. It says crop. You click on that. And then what you can do is you shrink it down to just fit your entire background. You can kind of go over the edge. It doesn't have to be right on the edge. I like to go over it just a little bit, so that I don't have any of the workspace as my background. And then from there, once I'm done, I can click on another button and it crops it. And that's it. And you got a little cool picture of a weird Rubik's Cube with Chihuahua heads. But what you practiced, all these layers, those are important. That's what you really want to learn. When you are done with something, you can always go to Layer, Flatten Image, and it all becomes one picture. And then you go to File, Save. Save as a JPEG, download, and turn it in. And that's it. Alright. Later.